Hey guys, welcome to Style Class. We are in the second show of 2025, and this is season six, right? Today's going to be a great style class, but before we jump into it, I think it's very important for us to quickly talk about what is happening in the world, specifically in California, because while we have a very global audience, what is happening in California is really impacting a lot of friends of ours. And I say deep friends that we've made, ironically, through social media, a place that gets a horrible rap, but has been a place that over the last 4 years, we have made some incredible friendships. And I know from putting out a feeler last week, asking people, you know, where is your head right now, and whether people are writing me from Vietnam or Sydney or in the middle of LA. Everyone is going through very different things right now, and then some of us are going through something particularly awful. So what I wanted to let you know before we get started is we have a bit of a two-pronged approach to this. Number one, we are helping the friends of the brand. And when I say the friends of the brand, I mean people that we have become close with, the people that we're close with, the people that they're close with. And a lot of these women that we work with, they run organizations, they are in large offices, and we want to be able to support their colleagues as well. And we want to be able to do it in a very meaningful way. And thank you. Many of you have already reached out to either Katura or our stylist to let you know what is happening to you, your friends, your family, or your colleagues. And you know that we are putting together packages so that we can have a deep and meaningful impact and hopefully help out in some way, shape, or form. The second thing that we're going to do, because so many of you around the world have reached out to me and said, I just want to be able to help in some way. The second thing that we're going to do is we will use, we've got quite a large platform, and we'll use that to let you guys know about any, if Mohawk General Store, for instance, is doing anything to raise money or give to families. We want to be able to direct you to places where you can give support. And right now we are very much in the throes of feeling around exactly what that means. So I wanted to say that first, and then we want to also, the big thing that I heard too from when I asked people where their heads are, when they told me, they also said, I also need a reprieve from it, and I'm looking forward, not totally, don't want to always be present, and I don't want to look backwards. So just keep teaching, do what feels right, and that's what we're going to do here with Style Class today. So we have the new Fundamentals collection has come up, and what that means, Fundamentals hasn't come up entirely because some of it is still for, pressing if you want to be notified when it comes in. Not everything's here.
Yep.
But I want to explain that the intent of Fundamentals is something that Tracy and Alana and I designed this collection 2 times a year. It is not an all new collection when we do it. It is sometimes just adding new fabrications and colors. But Fundamentals are, if they are in your kitchen, they are your flour, your water, your salt, your pepper. They are things that are meant to amplify things. They mix in with your favorite pieces, or they calm them down.
Yep.
So, and then sometimes they can just be layered up and look incredible on their own. So we're going to go through a lot of the fundamental pieces. We're going to talk about the size we're wearing, ideas on how to wear it, and then some specific information on fabrications and fits for you. Cool. So,
Well, I'm really glad that you said that. So it mirrors my sentiments, and we talk about it a lot.
yes.
We know that a lot of you have been waiting for crispy nylon specifically, and we're happy to tell you that it will be arriving soon, and Amy is wearing it in black and I'm wearing it in navy. So you know this dark navy is our Tibby navy. What we previously offered you in both of these silhouettes were the silk nylon, and we also offered a tech nylon. You know crispy nylon very well because we've offered it in Stella, we've offered it in Wilt, and we've also offered it in, Yeah.
everything at this
But
point.
you know this fabrication, so it's great that we're now introducing silhouettes you know and fabrications that you know. Hey, Amy.
Yeah, so I just want you to see it up close, like,
Yeah.
I mean, Katura said you guys are all likely to know it. This is
Yeah.
the Liam.
Yes, so this is the lamb and crispy nylon, and you'll see there's really not a change because we use crispy nylon as a texture. So you're getting shine here, you're getting that good sound, that crinkle, and it's relaxed. So this is a jacket that is not lined. So you get ease, and you also get ease in travel, ease in packing, ease in honestly care, because I wash my crispy nylon. We do suggest that you dry clean, but this is something that I wash and I air dry
Yeah.
personally.
And what I want to show you is I've turned this inside out. What I was saying last week is that Tracy has kind of flipped the concept of athleisure on its head, because these are more like real life business or fancy clothes, whatever you want to call it, that you can wear in a very casual way rather than casual clothes that you can really like dress up.
Right.
So, you know, especially in something like the crispy nylon here, you can see this is all French seamed. And this is really important because these French seams are what give a very, like a level of refinement and robustness
Right.
to a piece that is nylon.
So there's no doubt about the Liam. You know this is a tailored jacket that has ease built into it, right? So this, however, is a more casual style jacket that also has ease built into it. And you can see, I'll show you a little bit side by side what the navy looks like. So this is the same size that I took in the tech nylon. We know that this has all of the details that we, I can get it, can you get it for me? We love about having versatility and also having, just being able to like, take it and do what you need. So
And one thing I want to point out that we're doing as a strategy, as a brand here is, you know, Tibby is defiantly an independent company. And I know I use the word small a lot, but I also know small is relative.
right.
So I want to just say first and foremost, being independent is key because it lets us do what we want to do. And one of the things that we've been doing is we want to really explore and push with new things. And so for this coat and this kind of nylon, we did it in silk nylon before, in the heavier nylon like you mentioned. Those fabrications were very, very expensive per yard. And we just wanted to make sure that the body and everything would be well received in like a nylon fabric. So it was well received, and what that meant was, you know what, let's put it in sporty nylon. We all know sporty nylon. We can do it at a price point that is within that fundamentals range, and we can bring it out in a much bigger way. So
Right.
these were tried and tested last year, and that is why we brought them out into the crispy nylon, so that we could bring it into that fundamentals.
And they've
price
graduated.
range. Yeah, they graduated, they got their diploma.
Yeah, so I just bundled this up to show you if you're carrying a large jacket, there's no way that you can usually pack that up in your suitcase. So this is one that, as a mom, as somebody that's traveling, I really do and will rely on.
Let me finish on this.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
gonna change my clothes, and then you and Sloan can break down
Totally.
what you got. if
Yeah,
that's
let's do
okay.
it.
I am wearing the Dennis jean. This is Dennis jean.
Yeah.
This is a size 27. You guys will recognize that this is basically the rider jean, but without the rips. And you can see that on the 27 for me, my belly button is here. So even though this is falling an inch below the belly button, this longer rise here gives it a tremendous amount of ease. And you can see, like, this is where everything ends for me. So this drop crotch extends even further beyond the zipper to just really create a lot of ease and a lot of length. I am wearing the longer length here. This is offered in two lengths, right?
Yes, so this is offered in short, so when you see S or regular, which is the longer of the two, which is almost like 3 inches or so longer. Can you show them the back pockets? Because this is something that we're also known for. If you've been with us, you've seen the Brancusi pockets, you've seen the slouchy carpenter pockets. This has this really great functioning welt that actually is deep enough to put your bone in, and then this dropped yoke. So it's very chill all over.
So the reason for the dropped yoke is, the dropped pocket here, is this also makes the eye really ease out. And when we talk about the three things that have to be in fundamentals fully, chill, modern, and classic, all three elements have to be in. So this is giving the chill, but it's also doing it in a way that's a little unexpected and modern. That M, like CMC, it's like in fundamentals, that M has got to be in capital letters, because it's very much what separates, like when you have brands that will lean into the modernity of a basic, if you'll notice, a lot of them are the fast fashion brands.
Sure.
And they do this because they're like, well, you know what, if I'm gonna come in with such a strong point of view, I'll charge a ridiculously low amount of money. I'll make it cheap as shit, because like, who wants to invest in something that has a strong point of view? Sometimes I'll make it so cheap that you don't even return it because your shipping was more than the actual cost of the item. We know who we're talking about here. So you can find modern in a basic at a very, very cheap fast fashion level. And then you find a point of view at a very, very, very expensive price point. And you find it at a very expensive price point because they're like, you know what, we'll charge $3,000 for it because we know that so few people are going to actually buy this.
Yep.
Well, the good thing is for us is we play in an area that in fashion is called no man's land. If you play tennis, it is that spot that you never want to be on the court. We love it though. No man's land for us is a great thing because we certainly don't need the volume that fast fashion has. We don't want it, we don't need it. And then on the designer level, like, okay, this might seem like crumbs to you to produce only a few hundred pieces of something. For us, that's big. We'll take it. We don't need to be big because being independent is first and foremost. And by being independent, you are inherently small no matter what. Bottom line is, what that means is with each piece of these fundamentals, you can have a very strong point of view in them. It puts us in no man's land, which means we have no competition in this area. Again, I love it. So in the fundamentals, we also have the lightweight sweatshirting. And so here, this is a piece where it is so finished here, and this is very clean. So when I'm wearing it with a jacket, it literally just cleans it all up. It has, well, yeah.
I was just curious to see how that would fit.
Yeah, because with the tropical wool, and I'm gonna put this one, I think this one is a.
This is a 14, this is mine.
Okay, this is size 14, so this isn't for size. But what I'm gonna show you is that if I were in an office meeting or something, this neckline here keeps it very refined and clean and professional. But it also is not so that I couldn't wear it just out on the street with my kids watching soccer practice.
So this is where
Which I have not done in years.
play dinner work comes in to play, because you really want things that can go the distance in your wardrobe and can really be a workhorse for you. You don't want to have a shirt that's like a date night top or a work top. This you'll wear Monday through Sunday and get a lot of use out of it. And this comes in 2 colors. So
And you might want those, I mean, listen.
it's okay to have those, but it's
sure.
good to also have other things that you can really take with you throughout your life.
Because in the book, over and over, we talk about viewing these things as tools in your closet. And what makes this sweatshirting a great tool is that you can tuck it in without feeling too sausagey. Okay, I'll let you guys.
Cool. All right, so we always like a little compare and contrast and like kind of same but different. This is something that Grace and I used to do at the store. And so I'm wearing the slip skirt, and this color is port wine. So we've had several slip skirts in the past. This is a new color for us. Amy, I feel like this falls totally into ring 3. Do you agree, or where do you think this?
Yeah, because we very purposely kept it from being a classic burgundy.
Right.
Because burgundy classic is very maturing.
Right, so this is really deep. Otherwise, I feel like I was going to like Mother of the Bride vibes or like Grandma of the Bride. So this is a really interesting, kind of brownish, kind of orangey undertones. It almost like is iridescent in a way, like bronzy. So Sloan works with us at the office. So you're in headquarters. You were also in the store as a store stylist.
I was a styling assistant, and now I'm a communications coordinator, and I assist Katura and our director of PR, Brittany. It's been amazing.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're both wearing similar things but differently. So I'm wearing the slip skirt, you are wearing the slip dress, and we're both wearing the anorak. I take size large in this, so you can see it's built and meant to be generous. This has the drop shoulder, the ease of the lamb, and you're wearing it in small.
This is a small.
So
and I still have that like roomy sleeve as well.
Right, but because this is crispy nylon, you could hem this, but I wouldn't. I would just fold it up if you wanted to get skin or if you wanted to just have less coverage. All right, so Amy and I discussed this being really a layering and kind of mixing and matching, I think, cost per wear workshop or deep dive. So Sloan, you have on several items.
Yes.
So let's pare it back and let's talk about it.
Okay, I guess we'll start from the top.
Yeah.
So this is the crispy nylon hooded coat that we've already talked about.
Yep.
Similar silhouette, I would say, to the eco nylon hooded coat of, if not
Same,
the exact,
it's the
same silhouette.
Yeah.
And that came and went really quickly. So this is great. I think too, the folding element that you showed, I think that's such a key selling point on this. Like this is like the travel coat. I mean,
Right.
you can shove it in a carry-on bag and it's great and it gives you kind of that layering that you want.
Even hearing it, like the other, it had a shine to it, but it was actually a little bit more matte than this. And these are probably the same Tibby navy, so you can see there's a difference. I'm just gonna pop this off so you can talk about the layers that are under.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have the circular fine rib tank in white, and this is coming. Now I want to say it's in what? How many colors?
So it's seven colors
Seven
now.
colors now. But this we know and love. It started in fall, and yeah, it's a great underpiece, and it has that high neck too. That
I would say too, just one thing that you want to look at for layering when we talk about like one ton or none is like we did this in a color. Did you bring the
fine
other color?
I didn't bring
Okay.
that.
So we've got it in a color that's quite similar to this, so you can layer up these colors
Yes.
and create like something very clean or something that's like a sharp contrast.
And there are a few people that have written me and said, sometimes I get really red in meetings, or I don't like this to be too bare. So this silhouette, can you show them? Can you take the sweater?
Yeah.
So this is a new body because the other slip skirt had like almost like a cut, like not sweetheart, but this is straight across. So this is a new silhouette, a new color, and also you can layer this up with other things.
And to be honest, like actually today I took this off my body personally to wear, but this is one where you do want these in a few different colors because for me today it's freezing out, and when you have a layering piece, you just want something that is like really nice
Right.
and tight against the body because that's what keeps it warm.
I have this in black, I have this in gray, and I have it in white, and I wear extra large, and there's enough room. I'm 38 double D. It stretches. It also reverts back when you wash or care for it. The new colors, if you're missing slim in your wardrobe, this is a really important piece of your collection.
and sizing. I'm wearing a small, and I'm 32A, so it works for me.
So, and you're wearing, I believe this is the menswear. This is the fine gauge
Yes.
knit. So we offered this previously in 2 colors, and like these were actually ring 3 colors that we offered in ring 3 and 4. And so if you could throw that on and just show for someone, we'll almost be the same. If you were to put this over your head and wear it like a sweater.
Yep. All the way on.
So if you're getting the slip skirt, you're gonna get multiple wears out of the slip dress. You're gonna get multiple wears out of it because you can also wear it as a skirt. And so here's a place now Sloan and I are wearing something very similar. So you can see the difference in length here for the slip skirt. And I'm wearing this right at my belly button, and I'm wearing it with the tall boot. So it comes right under my knee. And then for Sloan, it's coming almost midi maxi length. So you're wearing the fine gauge knit and small.
Yes, and mine's the pullover
Right.
versus the turtle.
And so mine is the turtle. And so the pullover we had before, the turtleneck is new. So this is a great silhouette. I'm wearing it in extra large. It's meant to be easy. If you're someone that is easily oversized, easily overwhelmed by things that are oversized, I think this is the fit that you really need because you get the ease of it and you get the versatility.
Yeah, and what I want to point out with this sweater was this is something that we started last year, and I was so convinced that it was going to be the best thing in the whole world because finding a fine gauge knit that is actually out of cotton is really difficult. So cotton sweaters tend to they feel very bulky, they tend to get cheap feeling. Even the best ones tend to feel a little bit cheap.
Yeah.
So this one truly is very lightweight, but it's giving enough like layering ability in the wintertime and then working for summer. And so because it is so refined, you can wear it under the blazer like you're wearing here, and it's perfect for the office.
Yeah.
This is something like when I talk about like be better at the bar, dressing for bar class, like I'll wear this into class in the beginning because I still want to feel like myself. And this goes into a washing machine. So I don't need to buy
The long sleeve t-shirt that's
that's
Oh,
perfect
yeah,
for workout
Lulu.
class, right? Like,
Yep.
and listen, like I said, I'm not sweating my ass off. This thing is not drenched when I'm afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not, but it is, but I do wear it in the beginning. But what I want to show you is, will you slip your arms out?
I love that it's fully finished. Yeah, I want to change, but the fully finished, like, long sleeve tee is everything.
Yes. So I just want to show you too that, like, inevitably, even when I'm working out, I'll go to this level and then I'll go to this level. And this is one too, like if you were out and about and wearing a jacket and you go into a store and like it's too hot, you're trying to shop and look, you're so hot, you just pull your arms out and you're going to turn this into a scarf here and it's going to look great. Like you can just see, like if you did have a jacket on with it, it just becomes a scarf, and we know that we're really big on using things all different ways. So the things that you're looking for in these sweaters is they're fully fashioned, they're really lightweight, and they're so nimble that you can even thread it through a belt loop or anything. So,
And I think good to call out too is Sarah Brody last week, we're layering underneath it as well with like
Yeah.
more of a thicker material, I would say, shirt. Like it's super versatile. Like you can wear this fine gauge tank and then you can also wear a suiting shirt and
Yeah.
it applies both ways.
so I guess, you know, Katura, when you
Yeah.
asked if this is a ring 3, the reason why this is a ring 3 to me is when you put a true burgundy, and again, not bad, but what it is, if you put it with like a true, like a Ralph Lauren burgundy, there's Ralph Lauren burgundy, there's Ralph Lauren brown. Not good or bad, just is very classic, right? And when you put that with gray, it can feel very sad to me, very, very classic and very one-dimensional. And it's not that classic is sad, but one-dimensional is always sad to me. It feels very old Burberry to me. But because this has a shine, because it has that little bit of crinkle, this burgundy has a lot of brown and purpley undertones to it, so it is not reading classic and sad. And then one thing that you've added here is the sheer slip.
Yes, this is the sheer gauze slip.
Yep, and I love mixing the sheer gauze with the slip dresses. And this is one too that even if you're out and going to an event and you're traveling and wanting to not take too much, tying a little ponytail on the inside here and letting some of this show through here just is really interesting for giving lots of layers and dimension. And when we talked about like when is a trend not a trend, I think that if you look at trend reports from 2 years ago and even last year, everything was about the sheer trend. And that's when a lot of people glomp on something and then they scatter away. And what happens to us is we said, wait, sheer was a trend, but it's adding dimension and it's making something look more elegant and it's adding lightness when things get too heavy. So for us, sheer is not a trend. And to prove it, we put it into fundamentals because it is simply now a tool that functions in your closet.
And on the sheer note too, this is just a funny little tidbit. Before I worked at Tivi and I was still in college, I remember I followed you on Instagram and I remember you put something on Instagram saying how to wear sheer in an unexpected way. And that's something that stuck with me for this long and helped me find my way to Tivi now. And that was 3 years ago.
And I think at that time too, we were showing it very directionally with like boy shorts on underneath, biker shorts.
Right.
I still love that. That's the thing. But now we know too that it is absolutely functional.
Totally.
It's kind of like back in the 50s when they discovered like eating avocados and it was a trend and then you were like, oh wait, that's gonna stick around.
The 50s.
And then our friends in Mexico were like, pretty sure that was always a thing.
Now you can get a $17 open face avocado sandwich.
Exactly.
All right, so
Yeah.
yeah.
What I want to show you here is I'm wearing the compact stretch. We had offered this just in black, and now we've brought it in this really rich brown color that's got hints of red undertone. So it's got like lots of nice dimension to it. And I'm just wearing this with our old.
I like that you're
black
wearing it
cock
with
boots,
black.
yeah.
And it's easy. The fit on the compact knit is actually slim.
It's easy.
But easy.
I've got BPL here. Now, is this
What's
is this
BPL?
skirt visible panty line?
No, I never heard that.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
Oh.
What are these are sized, right? Like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you take that in 4?
I'm wearing a size 4,
Mhm.
and I still have some holiday action happening in here.
Mhm.
So when that goes away, it won't be so visible for me. Like, you know, everyone knows they're like what that little boundary is. It pushes me into more of a 6 right now. So you can see that I've got this coming through, but if I put on those like little commando
Commando.
bike shorts, like done.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show you, this is a skirt. I'm wearing the size 4.
Mhm.
It goes completely clean here.
Mhm.
And you can tuck the top in, but the thing is, with this fabrication, it's kind of easy just to fold it up and
Yep.
do like teeny little tuck back there. But if you wanted to do that, you can, again, like get rid of these lines here.
Could you
And-
talk about somebody that's missing slim in their wardrobe, how this can be a tool for them?
Yeah, this is, you know, we talk about big, slim skin, and this is definitely giving you good slim and proportions. And I think people for a long time have been taught that like big slim skin is like a skinny jean with a big jacket, and it doesn't need to be. And slim can be in something that is like a midi length.
Right.
It doesn't have to be in something that like you don't wear slim and a mini skirt. I mean, it can be, but the top is, what size are the tops? Are they sized as well?
Extra small.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm wearing a size small in the top. And what I want to show you is my shoulders are more of a size 2. And ironically, what happens is when you wear a top that is like a little bit bigger for you in the shoulders,
Yeah.
it actually constricts your movement.
Yeah.
So you can see that really I am more of an extra small in my shoulders, but I'm a small everywhere else. So really where this is going to fit you when you have normal size shoulders, and when I say normal, I don't mean there's normal and abnormal, but I mean normal size shoulders for a size small, that this is going to hit you right under the armhole, and it's going to give you like all that great movement. But on me, because my shoulders are small, this comes out a little bit wider. And you can see it is very full length here.
Yep.
And if you don't like it this long, I mean, this is not going to get into your catch-up or anything, but you can also fold it under here as well and make it a little bit shorter. And
Could
then,
you-
yeah,
I was gonna ask you to back up, because for someone that's asking me like, okay, this is a simple skirt, like, what am I getting when I get this skirt? But when you turned around, the slit in the back gives the appearance of a fully tailored skirt with the ease of this flat front waistband. So that's a really important part of this.
yeah, but so what I wanted to show too though is, so like here, I'm wearing it, when I had the sweater wrapped around me, this would just be something that, you know, I could be at the office, I could be lunch with friends,
Right.
you know, wherever, lots of different places.
Those are the old Dean boots, right? In the crop?
Yeah, those are the old Dean boots.
Mhm.
Every now and then someone will write to me and they'll say they found it on eBay or whatever, so that's
Yeah.
good if you did.
It's out there.
Okay, so what I want to show you is, when we talk about like one ton or none, one of the great things about socks and creating the idea of one ton or none is, if I'm going to use a black shoe here, what I'm going to show you is, what you want to do to create that continuity is you either want to match the
The
shoe
shoe.
to your sock,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
Yep. Or your.
or you want to match your outfit. Oh shit, this is the ones with the, we kind of hold me.
Yep.
It says,
So this is a tabby sock. So it's gonna take a little bit more.
I know, and we smash these on the sidewalk, just so you
Yeah.
know, so.
Okay.
You either want to match the shoe to your sock, or the sock.
I really
Sheer
like this.
clothing,
Yeah, I
right?
really like the brown.
So this is giving the same visual vibe that you
Mhm.
had when I had on the boot,
Mhm.
and then this is doing it, it's just different. And so again, this is not inviting a discussion on which way is best.
Mhm.
This is saying that you've got options, right? Because these bits of clothes are meant to be in your closet for the long haul, and we want to give you different ways of wearing them so that you can always feel good about the purchases that you made.
Yeah. I thought it'd be important to bring out the red crispy nylon, because we had just showed them how the navy looked. And so to compare these side by side, you know our Tibby red and you know our navy. We have offered you the Winslow now in multiple different fabrications. In crispy nylon, this is new. So the only other pant that we offer in crispy nylon is the Stella, that would act as a big. So for those that are looking for this, you're getting the someone called it a barrel, but it's really like the sculpting from the side, and you're also
Yeah.
getting the sculpting here. So this is very easy. I did a little one tuck. This also has this snaps at the back. And so if I were to dress this up, I would likely wear, not a sneaker, this is my weekend wear for my daughter or
Yeah.
after some type of class. I'm wearing a red sock. I'm curious about oh, here you are. Okay.
Oh.
I love it.
Here, sorry.
No.
No, we're moving on.
Okay, but I think this is not, I have that sock in red, not the cashmere one, but I like how that disappears, and I'd probably put it on with like a jacket or something
Yeah,
if I
so-
wanted to lose that.
And a mom DM'd me this week and she said, I've got a lot of like really sportswear in my closet, and when I'm with my kids, I want to find a way to be able to wear it and not feel so dressed up. Now, I had her send me pictures, and so just so you know, to her, I'm not recommending that you put this on and follow little Johnny in the park like that, because that's silly. But what this does show you is that when you have items like this, when Johnny is asleep and you're out to dinner or whatever, this becomes something that feels really, really right to wear to a restaurant,
Yeah.
because you've given it this edge.
Yeah.
And then you've leaned full on into this kind of like Americana classic look, which is great. But what I also want to show you is, if I were to take this, and if you can imagine then me in the red pant here, so we come up closer. But like, you can see how, I don't know how to really do this.
It's so weird.
But I think that these browns that have these hints of red, and then that burgundy that has that hint of the purple and everything, that really takes the brighter, stronger red into, do you mind bringing me that, Sloan, the burgundy piece that you had earlier? It really takes things into a different place. And I had a lot of DMs this week on how do I make a white skirt not look so nautical? And I think by that question, you could easily replace white skirt too with like a red pant. How do you make it not look
High contrast.
nautical? How do you make it not look preppy, right? Yeah, so that high contrast is gonna keep it in that preppier zone.
Yep.
But then mixing the red with this brown, mixing the red with this burgundy.
It's very rich. It softens it.
Right. So again, this is not about right or wrong. This is about when you want to feel sharp, crisp, you're going to do this. And when you want to feel like a little more subtle and a little more soothed out, you're going to go here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pop off.
Thank you. Can I get you?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you. Right. Okay, so this is all layered up here. This is great. So what you're wearing here, what Sloan's got on is, this is a deconstructed blazer, and what's the name?
Dominic.
Dominic.
Which we know.
Pinstripe. And I'm so glad that we've actually put a pinstripe now into fundamentals, because Tracy and I, it's like we always want to put them into collection, and then we're like, it just needs to come into fundamentals, because it's such a place in our life, like always, to have this pinstripe. And what's great about this pinstripe too is this is one, like, if you have any of our bigger, stronger, bold, like floral prints or anything, like in 2018 we did this great, like kind of squished out floral print, which I actually want to do again. Something like this deconstructed pinstripe jacket here just really like toughens it up. It cools it up, but it does it in a way that is really not only it's unexpected in that it is the embodiment of like that chill, modern, and classic. And when again I say that we play in no man's land, you guys, like, you might see some of your friends coming and going in the online world, in the social world, but when you actually go out into the real world, go to the Upper East Side, if you're in Greenwich, Connecticut, if you're on St. Simon's Island, Georgia, you will find that you have a distinctly different style than a lot of people out there. And first of all, because it's your personal style, and I think it's amazing, even at the runway shows, when everyone's wearing Tibby, when theoretically they are all chill, modern, and classic, and we share a similar mindset, the actual outcome of that, the way that we, what we end up producing on ourselves is very different. And that's great, because everyone, at the end of the day, they might have a similar mindset, but they are very individual. So you've got on the Dominic pinstripe,
Mhm.
and you're wearing it over the,
This is the viscose gingham. That's new in our fundamentals.
and the reason why we wanted to bring the viscose gingham in, guys, is that this fabrication it's not a cotton shirting, and it's nowhere near as heavy as like a woven gingham.
Mhm.
This has a bit of slink to it, but it's
Mhm.
not slinky.
Mm-hmm.
And what size are you wearing here?
This is a small.
Small?
Mhm.
Okay. And so you can see the shoulder on this is a bit dropped,
Mhm.
but it's not a dolman sleeve. So it's dropped to give ease, but what a dolman sleeve does is that cuts right across, and sometimes a dolman sleeve is a little harder to wear under a jacket
Mhm.
because it bunches all up. So
Mhm.
this one is just a drop shoulder here.
Yeah, and it lays really nicely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, super easy.
And then you're wearing this with the sheer.
This is the sheer gauze again
Yeah.
that I had on layered under the slip skirt.
Can we see the waistband on
Mhm. Yes, I have tights on it.
that? Okay.
Don't worry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
just like a little.
And this is is this SML or
Yes.
SML size?
This
Okay.
is small.
Okay, so you're wearing a small, and you would wear an extra small.
Wait,
I
I'm
think-
sorry, this is numerical.
Numerical,
Okay,
okay.
then this is a 4, and
I would put you in a 2.
Okay,
One
I would wear
size
2.
down,
Mhm.
because I want to just lift you up that little bit. When we go one size down, it's going to be an inch off the waist,
Mhm.
and then just a little bit cleaner through there.
Mhm.
It's not going to swish around so
Mhm.
much. Although I will say, but you can see too, when something's got all this give, it's kind of neither here nor there. You're
Mhm.
more of a 2, but you could wear a 4. You couldn't
Mhm.
wear a 6, but you could wear a 4.
Mhm.
And then you're wearing now.
These are the tall slouchy Borgs. These are in black, and I am Borg's #1 advocate. If you ever came in store, there was like a 99% chance I was wearing my gray ones. I mean, these can walk for miles and miles and miles. I used to walk every single day to work, and I would walk in my Borgs. Like on a Saturday, if I knew we were going to be busy, this is what I'm reaching for.
And it's funny because I have always been the most anti-ballerina person. And I always thought somehow, like, I can't wear ballerinas. I have to have, like, I always
And you're
thought,
feminine, but like not you.
yeah,
but it's
and I
like
always associated with, like, okay, I need to be Alexa Chung. If I'm going to be doing that, I need to, like,
irony.
be standing there with the cigarette
Oh.
and, you know, like, deflect. And
Edge.
I'm not going to do that, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, mixing that edge. And it always just felt too sweet.
Mhm.
What I love about the board is that toe is rounded, but it's not totally circular. You're not
Mhm.
giving Minnie Mouse
Mhm.
vibes.
Yeah, I don't feel like Minnie
And
Mouse.
it's still, it's like if you are in a business environment, and especially like in a more serious job, you don't come in looking like a silly girl.
Mhm.
And then, you know, it's
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
silly.
Silly girl.
Silly girl.
Mhm.
Okay, and then you just use this as a layering piece.
Yeah, to
because-
tie around if we want, like, I mean, if this is covering, and obviously I have tights on, but if I wanted a little bit more
Yeah.
coverage, I thought that could work too.
And then this also has the ring here, and on some of the pieces that we have, we've got it so the ring can be detached. You can take it off.
Mm-hmm.
If you've, especially I found, like, if I go out with 3 friends who are all wearing Tibby, they're like, someone's got to get that ring off.
Feel like I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Fine.
I'll do it. But I just want to show here, like, oftentimes when I'm traveling with a thin sweater like this or on the
Yep.
subway, I bring the sweater through the ring because it lets you, like, do interesting things
It's like
and
it
it's not
offsets
going to
it.
fall
Mhm.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ring is functional.
So Amy, for those that have the Dominic pinstripe from like 2023, they compare this back to those pieces, correct?
Anything on the pants?
Mhm.
It's similar.
It's similar. It's similar. It's a little bit, I think it's probably a little bit different in texture.
Mm-hmm.
But when some people ask me about, like, pairing similar textures together because, like, there's, like, it's like textures that are different to this level and apart, like, they work really well, but it's this in-between group that kind of is a little murky, right?
Yep.
But this is where, like, if you cut it up with, like, the sweater wrapped around you,
Right.
cut it up with a belt, mix in with another t-shirt.
I
like
tried
a
this with the
sheer
brown,
t-shirt.
the
Mhm.
brown active knit, and
Yeah.
it's not the exact same, but it's kind of nice when it's not exact.
Mhm.
Also, you can do a lot with it.
Yes.
I popped this on because I wanted people to see, like, I'm wearing this in size 14 and size extra large.
Yep.
And I too have a little holiday on me. I lost a little bit and gained a little bit. You know, give and take.
Give and take.
You get what you get.
Yeah.
But so this has ease in it, and I have a little extra here. I'll show
Yeah.
you. But pairing it back to a blazer, we actually have this coming in tropical wool.
Right, we brought this
a
in
big
tropical
deal.
wool. So in fundamentals, we have brought in the cutout blazer. And
Yeah,
the Dennis, did I name it
And the
Dennis
jean?
jean and a Dennis blazer?
Do you have somebody in your life that you knew named Dennis? Should we call
I
them?
did this for the match shoot too.
Means you really love that employee of ours
Well,
named
you know,
Matt.
when Alana and I did assign
Keep
the
it
shoe names,
Mhm.
we keep a running, like the Hurricanes, we
Right.
keep a running list of the shoe names.
You just go to
of
the next
players.
alphabet? Good to know.
But I've never thought to stop and compare it to the clothing names. Fuck, I gotta start doing that.
So,
So it's a nightmare.
I think the Dennis jean and the Dennis blazer could be a really nice fit.
I agree.
So,
I agree. I love it. And yeah, not only, but they're in the same delivery. Great. Great. Good job, Amy.
all right,
Um,
so this is
this
pretty
looks
formal,
great.
but I really like seeing the
Yeah.
black paired back to these pieces, and it almost gives the appearance. So you can, I have a small shoulder too. My,
Mhm. You
my,
do.
my boobs are, you know what they are, and
There?
the rest is what it is, but the shoulder is like,
Yep.
so that's why you get a little puckering here. So anyway, this is this.
And it's absolutely year round.
Yeah.
You are gonna be wearing this in the summertime with just a tank top,
Mhm.
and you're gonna throw on that black leather jacket
Totally.
right now and go out and be all good here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this on, because I don't think I've had it on the body yet.
Okay. So you guys know this is my tried and true. This is the car coat. Last year was the anorak for me, and I swapped between the two of them. The ease of this is really great. And so I put this Rudolph on because many of you have it. And if you're in a warmer climate, you might be wearing this without it. But I want to show you how this looks with the Boris in brown, just to give this whole monochromatic look.
And then I just realized we're gonna be putting the phone slow, so I'm gonna be able to show up with.
Okay, cool. Yep.
So
Do you want these two?
I just
No.
wanna show you,
I love how that's like preppy without preppy, because I don't do
No.
preppy.
I know I had a lot of requests for a very long time about when are you gonna put a Breton stripe into the line, and Tracy's,
Call it again. What is it called?
a Breton
Breton.
stripe,
Britton.
Breton,
Mm.
a Breton stripe. And, I can't, it's a French origin, and now like someone will write in and tell me what that is, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But I always said no,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought, I'm not sure where I can add my point of view.
Right.
Why wouldn't I just go get one like the Gap or wherever, right? And I just wanted to make sure that I would actually wear it. And what happened is I was at Kick Pleat a couple of years ago, and she had one from Comme des Garçons,
Mm-hmm.
and I bought it because,
I have that one actually. I
Yeah.
know which one you're talking about. It's very snug to the body for me.
oh no, I have
Oh,
a,
you have the drop shoulder.
it's a big, well, you know what, I bought a size large, because that's all they have.
right,
And
right. But it's
And
supposed
that's
to fit a
why it
little-
worked, right? Like, had I bought my size, I don't think I would have liked it.
Right.
And I really wore it, and I ended up wearing it a lot. And it added a lot of dimension to the outfit. And I went to Tracy and I'm like, you know what? I figured out how to wear a stripe in a way that doesn't make me feel preppy.
Yep.
And especially with, you know, we're living in Greenwich and everything, I never want things to.
I don't
to
live
look
in
too
Greenwich, and I
feel
don't
too-
want to look preppy either.
Exactly. You know, you don't want to feel the trope.
Yep.
So I think that we figured out a way to do it without being the trope. And so the way that you de-trope yourself sometimes
I like that.
is, like if I'm wearing the Breton here and the skinnier skirt here, first of all, this being brown makes a difference.
Yeah.
And then the clear shoe makes a difference.
And
So
this is
that's
cute.
where these elements become in your closet tools, because if I had this on with a loafer, or here you can see that, if I had it on with
A sneaker. This is springtime, Amy. Though
like-
I feel like with a sneaker.
Yeah, I still don't feel well, I don't feel preppy because I have a sock on. But if I took the sock off, it might get a little too prep for me.
Okay.
But I think just weirding it up a bit with, you just gotta weird it up. You play around, you weird things up, and you know what? I'm gonna hide the gold necklace. Like this gold necklace worked with,
Right.
right?
Right,
With
right.
this, it becomes too preppy.
Right. It's too much.
It's too much.
So I wanted to say, Brittany, I was so inspired. Did you see Brittany yesterday? So
Yeah.
Brittany was wearing a brown leather skirt, and she was
Yes.
wearing a zip-up track jacket. And I
Yeah,
thought,
she has
'cause
on
Brittany,
navy.
she doesn't have a modifier, but like she's very ladylike in
Yeah.
all things, right? And I thought, wow, that navy with that brown is so rich. But
Yes.
also, I was not expecting
Oh,
her
yeah.
to wear leather with this track jacket. So for me, I feel like I'm pretty sporty and urban outside of work and in general. It's
Yeah.
like I can't just throw this on because I feel like I'm gonna do the Runner Man. Like I need a way to really like calm this down. And so I really loved her with that brown. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to go either way. Cool.
And I will
have
say-
on one shoe.
To the mom who wrote to me though, this is something that, again, I wouldn't be rolling in the dust with little Johnny in this, but this is a thing that like,
Oh, yeah.
if you're going to school pickup, if you're doing a birthday party with the kid or whatever, and again, like, you know, I know it's a
Right.
different
Isn't
order,
that
right?
somebody's
We're up on a
house?
small island. I know
Actually-
Greenwich is like,
You're a shoeless household, and I
Yeah.
come to your house for a party, but it's casual, and I'm a mom. I just do this, I push this up, and I feel like we can talk, we can play.
and you can be on the ground.
I can
Be on the
definitely be on the ground.
Okay, so here we've got Sloane's now wearing did we call this a Stella pant?
Mhm.
Okay. Did I call it the Dennis pant?
These are, I still have the 10 card.
Okay, so you're wearing the Stella pant here,
Mhm.
and you're wearing a size 4.
Yes.
And I have to say with your, I do like the size 4.
I usually go
you?
for
I
a
don't.
2 in Stella's.
Uh-huh.
I'm also on that holiday little extra
Mhm.
train with everyone else. So right now I'm liking where the
Yeah.
4 sits, and I also love for my Stellas to sit kind of lower.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this. Like if these pants were, you know, high waisted and tight, like there's no ounce of chill with that.
Yeah.
And I like having, you know, like the drop waist, the long pleats that are laying nicely, the pooling at the bottom, like that takes the trouser that I don't want to ever feel stiff in a trouser. And I feel like I can run and jump and play in these.
Yeah, and what you want to make sure of, so she's wearing the 4, how tall are you?
5'9".
5'9", okay. So what you want to make sure of is when you do wear something higher, that it's kind of like on your terms. So if you were to like wear this higher here,
Mhm.
and then if you were to like kind of bunch it up, and then you're going to knot it here, and just kind of give like some interest,
Mhm.
like it's kind of like you're letting it drape,
Mhm.
and you're not feeling like super mature, and
Mhm.
you know, and
Mhm.
and that's where when you lay a pant on the ground and you look at it, if you've got the waist here and it contours out here, then that means when it's going to sit up higher and it's going to curve on you. And what happens is with a lot of brands, when I talk about like why we are in no man land, is you have to be careful because some brands will style things on their site so that it looks like it has a tremendous amount of chill, but when you see the flat photo, it doesn't. Or actually sometimes they pin it on the flat photo and I'm like, because the reality is, if you look at it and it curves out like this, you cannot just size up
Mhm.
2 or 3 sizes to give it chill, because it's going to give you ears. This area is going to always curve
Mhm.
off of you in a weird way because it was not meant to just, it wasn't engineered to just lay
Mhm.
flat. So when you hold up the Stella, it's going to look very direct and then straight down,
Mhm.
but it has a lot of ease to it.
Yeah.
And this is, Emily, what's the fabrication on the,
Trucker wool.
is
Oh,
it
oh.
100% what is the,
Of the sweatshirt or of the?
sorry,
Dominic pinstripe is a mix
okay,
of the wool, and it's a little bit different than our soft wool.
okay. So this is, it's got a mixture in it, and a lot of people ask us like, well, why aren't you using completely natural fibers and things? And when we choose a fabrication, the very, very first consideration every single time is, how is it gonna hold on the body? Is it gonna drape, and is it gonna do what we want it to do? And then the second consideration, but not necessarily in that order, because they can't not exist without the other, is we always make sure that it is a sustainable fabrication and how it was treated, how it was recycled, etc. And then we make it up, and then it looks great. And so we put all these things into place, like, can you breathe in it? Is it rich? Is it luxurious?
Mhm.
And the reality is that when you mix in a lot of these man-made fibers with natural fibers, it's what gives like guts and stamina and modernity to a lot of things.
Mhm.
And I love beautiful linens and a beautiful cotton and a beautiful wool, but it can feel very mature, and it's also not necessarily the most sustainable route. So the mixture of fabrications is not indicative of the price point. The experimentation that companies like Manteco, La Monta, all these Italian brands that we work with, Tessabilia, they're they are just the creme de la creme. They are creme de la creme. They are absolutely top notch, and you know, at the prices of these fabrications also, by the way, the only true way to be sustainable is to make less. We're an independent company. We are making far less than anyone reasonably could ever imagine.
Amazing.
I love this.
I do, and this is sweatshirting too, our newer sweatshirting. And this is in dark stone.
It almost looks like pumice right here because it's such a good like
It's so good.
contrast, but not contrast to the pinstripe.
Right, and so this is a great thing, like if you are asking like, how do I stay out of any kind of nautical trap?
Yeah.
If you're wearing a bright white tee here,
Oh.
okay, so you've got white underneath, you can see like if you're wearing a bright white tee, it can become a little more classic
Right.
feeling.
Yeah.
And it can make you feel more average depending on how you read classic. And so if you were to do this with a white tee, this is where like maybe you want to like really ick it up with like a great like completed works earring or something like that.
Right.
So, you know, it doesn't mean that you never wear this with white,
Yeah.
but it means, you know, like if it were Sarah, she's going to put on like a studded Western belt with it or something.
Very
You're gonna, like,
unexpected.
you're going to really kind of turn it on its head.
Maybe that's a good place for conversation with the dry loop terry because I think people are wondering how to use this as a tool.
Yes.
And I think for if you know, I didn't show it, but
Yeah, like it's, you know, if you've got the dry loop terry, is it part of fundamentals?
yeah,
Right now?
it is, yeah. And so we've had this in the polo, and
Yeah.
now we're offering it for the first time in this body.
And so what this does is, when you're wearing anything that's in this like tropical wool range, when you're wearing fabrications that are worsted and they have a flat hand to them, when you wear something that's like a t-shirt with them, it can sometimes feel a little too flat altogether, and you crave texture. And so it's a sensation like when you really pay attention to what you're feeling in your gut. If you put on a plain gray t-shirt with this, you might be feeling like, oh, I need more. And what you more isn't necessarily like a top with ruffles and big details on it. More just might mean that little bit of texture. Because when you put it on, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is exactly what I was looking for. It's another reason too why denim is always a tool for us,
So good.
because you know, denim layered under this with this, like you've got all that texture and all that give.
I like hearing you say that, Amy, because it's more like, do I need more or do I need less? And I like when Deanna, didn't she say that? Like sometimes you gotta take one thing off, but sometimes you really gotta add one
Yeah,
thing.
that was
It's like
kind
it's
of
not giving
Raylan's
enough.
thing, like you, or Chanel, take one thing
No.
off before you leave the house. And really, it's, I think one of the things we're gonna talk a lot about this year is how do you fine tune your gut? And for those of you who've been following us for a while, what you know is that fine tuning your gut is not just about ultimately becoming a better dresser, and by better dresser we mean that what you wear better reflects your personal style. But what happens is when you refine your gut, I think of it as you're building your measuring stick. It's your core. And what happens is when you know what your measuring stick is, you can measure your decisions against it. Is it
All of them.
right? All of them.
Right, not just clothing.
Not just anything in life. And so what happens is you become the most incredible independent thinker. And I think that's what we saw happen at Tibby when we went through this process, and it started with personal style. We ended up really building a very solid measuring stick so that, you know, if I hear that the industry does this, why doesn't Tibby do that? I'm like, oh, here's why we don't. Or I think, should we? Maybe. And then I check it against the measuring stick.
Yeah.
And these are things where, you know, when people come with so many varied opinions, even whether it's from your mom or your dad, someone that you care deeply about and that you trust everything about them, you still need your measuring stick to measure it against, or else you will literally just be flapping in the wind
Yeah.
with everything. And it is so unsettling when you are not really sure what you stand for. So, you know, that measuring stick, those first principles are really, really key.
I really feel like decisiveness is a skill that you have to, a muscle you have to flex.
Yeah.
And knowing yourself is something that you have to flex. And it's actually something that helps you to save money, right? It's not just about clothing, but when you know you're not wasting money on things that you don't need. And yeah, so I wanted to talk about this white skirt for a second. I have been a big fan of our nylons in general, specifically skirts, because I said before they are skirts for people that are pant people. It's easy, it's akin to a jogger. So putting on something that you can kind of just jump into, it creates just ease in your decision making, right? So if I had to reach for two things in my closet and one on a day that's very busy and I'm having a problem making decisions, one that has to be zipped and tucked and do all these things, or something that I can just literally jump into, I'm gonna reach for the thing that I can jump into. Mm-hmm. For our whites, I take pictures of myself as like, I always risk it all when I'm wearing white. I'm like, today is the day I wanted to have an open cup of coffee. Who knew? But having something that's easy and not precious helps that. So if I were wearing a silk skirt and pleats, I probably wouldn't even attempt to drink coffee or eat or live my life or ride the train, but with this I feel comfortable with that. And this fabrication technically is close to the sheared panel skirt. So if you think about the weight of that skirt, very easy, very light. You see how the pleats are kind of popping out, but they pop back in. It's 10 out of 10. And we had these skirts in resort about 2 years ago. We had something similar, but it was a sporty Italian nylon. This is now Japanese lightweight nylon.
And what's great too, when you start to think about like, how do I know if something's a tool in my closet?
Yeah.
What you do is you take a skirt and you drill it back to first principles, the basic elements of it. And so really what this skirt is it's something lightweight, it's something casual, but it's something that can be dressy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stick to the body and you can just pull it on.
Yeah.
So that means that you can wear this with the kids, you can wear it
Right.
to an office, but also this is what I wear to the beach. This is my cover up, because why wouldn't it be a cover up? It does go in the washer. It does. It's elastic, and you can even lift it up to here. You know, whatever you want to do with it. So when you drill something down to its rawest, like most fundamentals on how it can be used, then you start to figure out how to apply it. And that's when you get out of this head spin of like creating different outfits, what's right, what's wrong, what will people think about it. That's how you get out of that.
Can you talk to me about this green? This is a very specific green. It almost reminds me of like old G Tibby green, right? Like
It just,
Devil Wears Prada era.
I love in fundamentals just throwing in that kind of wild card of a color. Green though is so, I mean, my first logo, actually the super OG logo was pink. But then it went to green quickly, and then my colors were pink and green, like whatever. But this color green, it feels very, it's got a lot of life in it, and you can see here with this taupey color, this is the ultimate ring 3, like taking it down a notch always. This is great too with the silver.
So I wanted to show you guys, this is one of the sale shoes. I love the Dwayne for so many reasons, and I thought about my clients that are in Palm Beach, some that are on the West Coast. So wearing this with a tabby sock or any sock and kind of just put it, karate chopping it and giving yourself a little toe ring is really great. So this is a way I feel elevated, you know, that I go to events that are casual leaning, and also, you know, if I were going to a mom event, a friend event, church, all those places, I would wear this sweatshirt. It's just good. So I get versatility here in all things.
And that silver is just such a good
it's really good. Silver and gold, but I love it.
So we're gonna have to wrap up here.
Okay.
And again, the ultimate like color assorted.
Oh my
dog.
God, he's so rich and beautiful in all things.
Yeah, he's a
So
ring 2.
good.
He's ring 2 classic. So guys, that's it for today. We're gonna still keep diving on these fundamentals so you can get a real sense of what they're like, and they're gonna be coming in from now through the end of the month.
Yeah.
Please, if you're interested in something and it's not in yet, click the notify me when available, or reach out to one of the store stylists so that they can make sure that they get that on reserve for you. We do not take advance orders on things, but we will absolutely, you know, we put you in a pecking order there and make sure that you can get it when it comes in. And again, if you are out in California, please reach out to any of our store stylists. They are keeping very copious notes right now on who it is that we need to support, and we are working on different ways of putting together kits of clothing to help them do that. It can even be men as well, as speaking with Amy, and she said that a lot of the
A lot of men
guys
are in
in their office, they've lost everything. We've got lots of sweaters and stuff for them
Yeah.
as well. So be safe, guys, be good, and be smart.